welcome back to another episode of the Chat with Salvado and Daphine. Thank you very much for watching. All the other episodes, they've been amazing feedback, amazing love from you guys. So many comments, so many likes.
It's been incredible. It's been
just been amazing.
It's been beautiful. Amazing.
And thank you
for
following
I work on radio,
us.
so we have to adjust the voice.
It's
been amazing.
We're not going to hear enough of the radio.
Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. It's not been easy.
We shall congratulate you for the next year.
But we just want to thank you for the love that you've been showing us on all the episodes we have uploaded on our YouTube channel, that is Just Comedy UG. And we want to return the favor by reading some of your comments, by going through some of the either queries, questions, concerns that you have shared with us on our comment section of the YouTube channel. And I think we'll start from the beginning, from the genesis.
Yes, we shall start from episode one.
Yeah.
So our episode one was just the two of us.
Yes.
And we talked about sacrifices in marriages, in relationships, and what me and you had to do, or what we did, or what we sacrificed.
The things we went through.
Yeah, the things we went through.
The decisions we made.
In episode one, we talked more about career. More about the sacrifices we made in our careers, in different sectors of our careers, since we were both in entertainment, and so one of us had to,
But you were in the poor section of the entertainment.
Oh, Lord.
I was in the one that was getting money.
You have to bring that back.
Yeah,
okay.
We have to be very clear why you sacrificed, because there was no money in her section of acting, and I was not making the money because, I'm very successful.
Yeah, we have had that one.
Yeah.
So let us go through some of the comments that really caught our eyes.
On episode one.
Yeah. So the first one that I really wanted us to talk about was from Diana Namara.
Yeah.
She said, aren't there times when you're not in love with your partner, and how do you go back to the good times so fast?
Hey!
Okay, those...
But there have been times when I am not in love with you.
Oh my God, me too. Like half of the time.
We did like each other.
Yes.
Like you are there, I'm here.
And you just look annoying. Everything you do is annoying.
Even you are brown, I was like,
How is that even a problem?
You are half-baked. No, I'm
you are burnt.
Proper.
But Diana, yes. There are so many times that you fall out of love with your partner. And she's asking, how do you go back to the good times very fast?
For me, it's not about going back to the good times very fast. It's about realizing what made you fall in love and what has caused to your falling out of love. And then I realized that what made me fall in love were the things I was not giving attention to. And I was giving a lot of things that were distracting me from what made me fall in love. For example, I was giving more attention to the flirting. I was giving more attention to the fame. I was giving more attention to the money, the things that can come and go anytime. So these things made me forget the sole reasons of why I fell in love with you, which is your character, your humility, of course your beauty, your fertility. Those are some of the things. So it made me forget. I started concentrating on the things which didn't mean much to me, and I gave them priority. And then I realized that, maybe these are the things which are supposed to be giving me happiness. And before I know it, I was growing. I was growing farther away from you while growing very close. It's only when I realized how irrelevant the things I was giving attention to, that's when I sat back on the drawing board and I said, I think I am messing up.
For me, I think it goes back to communication on my side. Every time I feel like I'm falling out of love with you, I feel like there's something we are not...
Times?
There are so many times, by the way. But usually, I sit down and I'm like, okay, there's something distracting my head.
First wait.
Or...
Don't
dwell on that. Listen. So I sit and I'm thinking, okay, there's something that is disturbing my head. There's something that is making me fall out of love with you. And usually, if that thing is there, it may be small.
Or big.
Yeah, usually for me it's small. They're the smallest things that annoy me, and I'm like, but I later realized that I'm just supposed to sit down with you and tell you this annoys me. And it's up to you to know that it actually annoys me and you change, or you continue with it.
But also you, how you tell me.
For you.
How you tell me is also matters. How you communicate was also a problem. Before we learned how to communicate, before we learned how to communicate, how you would communicate was very, sometimes it was brutal. You would communicate through third parties.
Because, no, that is anger. Usually it was anger.
That's how. That's part of communication.
But right now, I learned one thing. Third parties are the worst things in a relationship. And it's one thing I wanted to talk about today. We dwell so much on asking our friends to help us.
Even counselors.
Even
counselors. Me, I don't believe in counseling.
I also don't believe in all those things.
I sit down. Another man who doesn't know me to tell me my problems.
Again, I would say they're good and bad. You can't say they're totally bad. Sometimes we can try to communicate but fail to reach. Everyone thinks they're right. Like both of us, the way we like arguing, we always think.
Then that means you're not communicating.
So, no. I'm saying general arguments, not something deep. But usually, if you get someone you trust, someone who's older than you, someone who understands both of you very well, not a random counselor, then that person can actually help you to get to an understanding. Yeah. You agree to that, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like our parents.
Yes, like our parents. Yeah. Our parents understand where we've come from.
Actually, they are the best counselors.
I think.
How do you go to a priest for counseling? First of all, they have never been in a relationship. How are they going to?
Okay, that is funny.
How are they going to advise you? But you see, when you touch a woman here,
don't.
I am a Catholic. I'm sorry I said this. I'm very sorry, but it doesn't make any sense. The best people who can solve your problems are the two of you.
Yes.
If you ever fail to communicate, there is nobody else who's going to make you communicate. For as long as you've not learned how to communicate, the people will tell you how they communicated in their relationships.
And it worked for them.
And they will try to impose it on you. And when you find out that it's not working, you'll be like, Olaba, even the counselor told us, but we have failed. That means me and you, we can never. Not knowing that you haven't found the formula for communication.
So, Diana, it goes back to communication. Yeah. I hope we've helped you with your question. The next one we saw in the first episode was Chikonyogo, Simon Peter.
Yeah.
He said, how do you handle issues concerning gossip about you as a couple from the public?
I'll be honest with you. If I was to listen to gossip, if I was to listen to hearsay from what people were saying about my wife now, I don't think we would have been together.
Yeah. I also don't think
there was a lot that was said, from her past, from my past, from our present, from our current, a lot of things. So if I gave them hearsay, I would really, really not have been there. Me, the thing I use is always give the other person a reason of doubt. Always give the person they're talking about, the person in your life they're talking about, a reason of doubt. Because there are three sides of the story. There's the other person's story, there's the one telling it, and then there's the truth. Yeah. So for you to get the truth, you need to get both sides of the story, and then you can easily conclude. You can easily find out the truth from both stories. But if you conclude, if you make up your decisions based on one side of the story, trust me, you will never make headway in life, ever in your life. So listening to gossip, it will always be there because this is the life I chose. Oh, it's the life that chose me. To be out there in the public, to be kwanikad and everything. So people are going to say things, people are going to come up with stories. Some are going to be true, some are not going to be true. But it's up to you as a human being to use your senses to say, let me do this.
But babe, let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I think social media has done way more harm than good in relationships. It has broken so many relationships that wouldn't have been broken.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think in our case, if you were not the stronger one, me, I would have been broken.
Yeah.
The first
years, you have been broken.
The first years of our marriage were really crazy.
Yeah.
People had different opinions about us, and it was just insane, especially friends, society, elders. Everyone had an opinion about this relationship. People reached an extent of saying we we weren't supposed to be together. Others thought you could do better, you know.
Others thought you could do better. Eh.
So it was crazy. But I think eventually, with time, we learned that it's not about anyone else, it's about us. And the good thing is, what I will tell most couples out there with social media,
Overbelieve in social media.
you know, social media and everything, the best thing to do is just to make God the third party in your relationship, because there is no way social media is going to agree with your relationship whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
There is always that one bitter person out there, someone who just isn't happy with their own lives, but they'll just impose it on you.
They will want to look for other people in their situation, so that they
Yes.
sit down and they say, aha, I'm not alone. We are
Even if
many.
you're not in the situation.
And it's worse if the person is a celebrity, because they'll be like, me an ordinary guy, if I can go through this, what about the celebrity?
them?
We are not. So some people want to justify their failures by imposing them on you, so that when you also fail, they'll be like, we are many in this situation. Yeah, so there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of hype that can be created, especially on social media. It is up to your mantle to realize that, you know what, this is just hearsay. First of all, most of the people who are commenting who post about you don't know you.
They have no idea who
They
you
have
are.
no idea. They know
what you tell them.
What you tell them, or what other people tell them, but they do not know you as an individual. Yeah. So there are so many times people have come to me and said, hey, you guys, I used to think you're so very proud because of the way I present myself on TV. But you're down to earth guy. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm sure there are so many people you've told that I'm a proud guy. And they hate me because they think I'm a proud guy.
Same
Now you've changed, your mindset has changed, but what about the other guys you told?
And they're still spreading it.
And they're still spreading it. So before you start talking about somebody you don't know, find out from them.
Find out about, yes.
Yeah, it is just very simple.
Okay. So let's move on to the next
Episode 2.
episode.
Yeah, episode 2 was about sacrifice, and we had the honor of having one of the power couples. I call them power couples, not because of wealth, not because of influence, but because the two of them decided to ignore what was surrounding them and decided to love
Focus
each
on
other,
themselves.
focus on themselves, focus on their family, focus on their careers, and they have become a power couple. And we're talking about the Nawisos,
Yes.
Elena and Matthew Nawiso. And they gave us one heck of a show. And we got so many, because it was about sacrifice.
Yes, it was still about sacrifice,
Yeah.
but another opinion also.
We had also career in there. We
had
had
so many other things in there.
it was one of those brilliant
It was
episodes. I'm
crazy.
sorry if you've not watched it. You can go to our YouTube page. That is just comedy.
Just Comedy.
The episodes are
The
there for
episodes
you.
are there from one
Yeah,
to like
free of charge.
I don't know, to the latest.
Yeah, and this one generated a huge number of comments, and people were siding because it was a debate between who should sacrifice and how they should sacrifice. So most of the women were like, no, the women, we can sacrifice. The men were like, no, I'm the man of the house. I need to sacrifice. So we had so many comments. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start from. Some of them were actually funny. It will. Oh my goodness. Somebody talked about the soldiers, and he said no disrespect, because we talked about we had an example of a lady who wanted to become a soldier
But the
at
time
25,
time ran out.
and that conversation was about there's never time. It's never too old
You're never too old.
to achieve your dream. You understand?
But
you have to evolve.
Yeah, that's what the
Evolve with your
men
dream.
kept on saying.
Yes.
But the women kept on disagreeing to that.
The women kept on disagreeing because you focused your dream on a particular set of dream. Like, for example, if you wanted to be a model at 22 and you wanted to act in a movie, when you get a character, a role at 22 years, and that role passes, your mindset, your dream has died.
It depends on the job.
Yet
It
if
depends on the
you
career
evolved with your dream, you could be like, I can be a mother at 35, or I can be a granny at 50, or I can be an ancestor at 70.
Okay, that's weird.
So if you evolve with your dream, you'll never be too old to achieve. You'll never be too,
That just kicked in, right?
you'll never be too old to achieve your dream. There's according to that topic, somebody said, no disrespect. As a recently married woman who is a soldier, she's been a soldier 10 years, and a mother of a 12-year-old, trust me, you men were full of disgust. I love the girl. So this one did not agree with us.
Yes.
For her, we were disgusting.
But she lives what we were talking about. She's actually the best example of what
The
we're
reason
talking
why
about.
she can't be the best example is because if she was living her dream, she wouldn't be this bitter.
No, I don't think so. You
Yes.
don't just jump into being a soldier.
No, of course, you don't just, but if she was living her dream, she would actually be telling us, by the way, I achieved my dream when I was A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You understand? But she came with the problems of sticking to a dream. Sticking to a dream, achieving it, and then later you find out it's not actually what you wanted.
Okay. So there's another one who said, Julius Mogeni, who said, I think it's good to specify that there's a main dream and a minor one. You can support a minor dream as long as it doesn't threaten the main dream. So reinvesting, depending on whether the capital won't be better used in the main dream. Okay.
I don't think you can have a main dream and a minor dream, for me, because anything that takes away your focus from achieving your dream,
yes,
is a
it's a distraction.
distraction. It's yeah. I don't know how we can explain this, but for me, I think it's more of a distraction than trying to achieve a smaller
But again,
dream.
I think it can work. It can actually work out that way. It's like saying you had your main dream, which was engineering, right?
No, that was my dream at that moment, and I achieved it. And I realized it wasn't a dream. It was something I wanted to do, because I felt I was not complete. You understand?
I feel like
Then something new came in and I was like, okay, this is nice. And then I tried it and then it worked. Now my dream, you see, what happened to me wasn't actually a dream. I had never dreamt of becoming a comedian. You understand?
Yes.
But when I say doing it, now
became a minor dream.
No. It did not become a minor dream. It became the main dream.
No,
That is why I let go
I
of
mean
engineering.
the time when you were still in engineering and comedy at the same time.
I was looking at it as I was looking at two dreams. This one I was living it already, so it was no longer a dream. It was a reality.
Okay.
You understand? But this is something I was chasing. Now it opened my eyes to so many possibilities. That's why it became a dream. I think in this I can achieve this. I think with this I can achieve this. With this I can achieve this. So every time I dreamt of something I could achieve from this career, I went out there and I looked for it and I made sure I achieved it. That is why now, this is now my dream, because every time I dream of something new of achieving. That's why it has become my dream. And however much I thought comedy was my dream, I mean engineering was my dream, I never saw myself having more dreams when I was doing engineering. Like becoming a contractor, becoming a consultant, those are now dreams within your living dream, the one you're living.
So those are the minor dreams.
No. Those are now
Very confusing me.
A minor dream, like how Mugenyi explained it, was something on the side. Something you can do while you're chasing your main dream. You understand? When you achieve your dream, it doesn't stop there. It keeps on growing. Like, I wanted to become an engineer. I became an engineer. Now what?
You look for a plan.
You understand? So after becoming an engineer, I want to become a senior engineer. That is now a dream. Your dream never stops. It keeps on expounding. It keeps on expounding. Like now I'm a comedian. What did I dream of having my own show? Then I had my own show. Then what? Oh, I should have people working for me. Then I had people working for me. So it keeps on building. For as long as your dream keeps on expounding, you're still dreaming.
I think what Mugenyi actually wanted to mean is, you see how we've always dreamt of having a bar. So your main dream is comedy. My main dream is something else. Or
Yes.
But that is your minor dream.
No.
It can be.
You see, when two people come together and they have a thought, it is their dream. I cannot achieve having a bar by myself, can I? You cannot achieve having a bar by yourself. But together, we have the dream of having a bar. But when I'm on my side, when I am alone thinking, I am not going to think about a bar.
Okay.
As an individual.
Something you think about that you want to do as an individual?
Yes.
It's there, isn't it there?
No, because right now I'm living my dream.
You're
not getting it. Right now I'm living my dream.
But there are things that you want to do on the side.
No, I don't want to do things. There is another dream that there are things I want to do, yeah? But to achieve those things, I have to exhaust this dream I have
hold on.
Without regretting.
What is working on radio for you? Working on radio?
It is part of my comedy journey.
Don't.
It has never been my dream job.
But it's a minor dream.
It has never been my dream job.
It has been your minor dream.
But it's part of the process.
But you've thought about it. You've thought about working on radio before.
I have worked on radio
even
before.
After you.
These are some of the benefits of my main dream.
I mean, after you left the previous radio, in between there, you still.
Do you know my dream, babe? To become a doctor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That is a dream.
Okay, I also want to become a pilot. I also want to become a pilot.
Those ones are going to remain dreams. We shall dream in our sleep, wake up, move on. Those ones we know we cannot achieve. But a dream that you can achieve.
Eh? You can
becoming a what?
I don't.
It's a lie.
You need sciences.
I'm looking forward.
So there's another comment from Persist Victor. Okay, the names. The family vision should be communicated clearly. If possible, put it in writing even. Tumanye waje tulaga. The husband should be physically involved in their wife's businesses, not to just show up as money lenders who put in a zitabaluma, but business partners who are equally affected by the success or failure of the business. Be present, ask questions, encourage your wives, even if in your deepest heart, you know it may not work out, but be each other's cheerleaders. Oh, this goes back. This goes to episode 3, which is money.
Yes, that is actually a very painful comment.
No, it is actually very nice. May I like it?
Because, babe, if I have a vision, if I see logically where for you your dream is going to end up, and it's going to end in failure, I will stop it from the genesis. Point blank, I will be brutal. I tell you, this will not work. These things will support her, put money, and then when you lose, encourage her. It will be okay. It will not be okay.
It will be okay.
Sometimes we need to be realistic in these things and remove emotions.
You listen. You're supposed to be your wife's cheerleader.
When you know the thing is going to work, when there is a future.
What if you think it's going to work and it doesn't work out? What if you think it's actually going to...
The devil is a liar. Then that is the devil. The devil is a liar. Sometimes the devil works in mysterious ways.
Really? Really? That is your answer?
Yeah. How? But let me tell you. If you are together in this thing and it's going to work, you with the man, it will work. That one I can tell you for free.
But... you always just want to argue, but this guy is right. Once you are your partner's support system.
Yes.
Like, even if you know it's not going to work
out. I'll be your support system if you are the one funding your own projects.
But the guy has clearly said, or who has said it's takuluma. So that extra money is takuluma.
There is no money that doesn't hurt a man.
There's that extra money that you wouldn't.
There is no
that you're actually going to spend.
You remember when we were dating, when we were starting to date. Do you know how many times I regretted spending money in a restaurant? And the next day, I'm looking at, I'm going to eat boiled eggs and water for lunch. Yet yesterday, take away, you didn't finish the food.
There is no day you've
Do you know how many times?
There is no day.
Do you know how many times?
You've ever taken me out and I don't finish.
I will never forget the time we went to a restaurant and then you said, there's a cocktail you want to concoct. I said, oh, wow, nice. Babe, do your thing. You said, give me this, they poured. Give me that, they poured. Give me this. I said, the things they are calling, I asked for the bill. One shot, it was this size. 78,000. You know, I confidently paid that money. That was going to be the end of our relationship. You had brought problems in our family.
But let me tell you something. You men have a tendency of saying, but there's no money to spend. Yet, you can get money and spend it on gadgets. Banange, I don't know if it's the same with you people out there, but spending money on a gadget also hurts us. Sometimes you want to.
Are then the gadgets useful?
Which gadgets are useful? Which ones exactly?
You, if you spend the money on your hair, after 2 weeks, don't you throw it away?
Let me tell you something, guys.
Yeah?
Let me tell you
We
something.
all have bad habits. We all have bad habits. You
spend
have
money
your
on my
hair,
I
which is not yours, first of all.
I have the
It is for
receipt. I
somebody
have
else.
the receipt.
Me, I have my gadgets, which are going to help maybe later in the near future.
Which near future, babe? Let's be sincere. He buys things like gym stuff. That kind of thing you bought. You've never even used it.
It was cheap. It was cheap.
You should just go to the gym. That's it.
It was cheap
That's
on
it.
Junior. No, the vision, the dream I had
Is
to
to
put
pull.
the and to pull was very vivid until I tried it. Then I realized,
It's very cool.
maybe I bought it for my wife. Olama, I buy gadgets
Why do you buy
that
things
are,
you have not
that are
asked?
unisex, that you also can use. But have you ever put effort in trying to use
Like,
any
for example,
of
how
them?
many toolboxes do you have? How many toolboxes
Who
do you
repairs
have?
things at the house?
The same things. Toolbox. Just I think they just change color or something.
One
I
is the
don't even.
upgrade. Babe, when we started dating, did you have this phone?
This is a phone.
You started with a cartouche.
Yeah.
Look at where you are. It's an upgrade. That's the thing with my tools. I need to upgrade them every time a new version comes out.
It goes back to the same thing. The way you spend that money, it means that is just there. It's for spending. Why don't you get that money and invest it in something you both believe in or in your wife? Then that's when you can actually complain or support or decide whatever you want to do. Be brutal to your wife and tell her she wants her business won't work out or not.
But if I tell you and actually it doesn't work out,
Then
and you insist and
you
it
have
doesn't.
jinxed it.
How?
You can't tell me it's not going to work out before even I start working. You're jinxing
No,
it.
because me, I can see ahead. I can see the future. I can tell that this business is going to work. Because for us, we are logical. You're emotional.
Really?
Oh, you no longer support my business, blah, 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 blah. Oh, bichi, bichi, hey, and all that. But me, I have seen the future. I have seen where this thing is going to end. How many businesses of yours have I supported with one hand?
How many businesses have I had? Why are you saying you're making it sound like I've had so many businesses?
Yes, Urembo.
That
Urembo,
is one.
It has like 6 other branches.
But that is a product. That's one company. You can't say businesses.
No, it's a business. They are businesses. They are handled by different people, but under one umbrella of Urembo.
Yeah. Then say, what other business?
Urembo Cosmetics.
It's the same. I've had one.
Urembo Lotion. Urembo Soap.
You're still talking about the same thing.
Those are different branches of it.
Those are products. So that's the products in one company. Thank you for supporting me, though.
Next comment.
I feel like the man's feelings could have been sincere since he knew the lady was rich. He could have loved the woman because of her. You remember the story we talked about during the third episode?
Yes.
Of the woman being richer and making the man pay rent and blah, blah, blah?
Yes.
I think this was meant for that.
But listen, the honest truth of all this is we appreciate the feedback you give us on social media. We can't exhaust
read everything,
all the comments, but we just want to say, because there are some people who came out and said, oh, these guys are on social media showing off that they are perfect, you know. Let us maybe go back to the genesis, where the motivation for this show started. This motivation came from the fact that during the lockdown, a lot of relationships were exposed. A lot of relationships were exposed. And I don't know, for us, we decided, because happiness is a choice. You can decide to be happy, you can decide to be sad. In our small house there, we decided to be happy. Regardless of what we are going through, especially financially. You remember, we are going through one of the most difficult times of our lives financially. Here's the thing, that you've just paid tuition, you've paid fees, you've done what, you've paid rent, and then boom, lockdown, the children are... My children can eat. They are not normal. Those people, they eat.
They have a good appetite.
Their appetite is out of this world. So that means I had to buy extra food at home. And the fact that we are financially constrained, So many families could break at that point. But we were like, you know what? Let's be happy.
But let me tell you
Yeah.
one thing. The reason we started this show, The Chat, is not because we are perfect. We are like
Very far from perfect. Very, very far from perfect. But it's, we learned if we talk,
we actually thought it was a good idea during the COVID period, but we actually put it into practice during the COVID period. But we had unconsciously thought about this way before. Every time we sat down with our friends and we talked about our lives, we realized it was helping other people. Somehow we were finding a way of helping other people, and both of us would give our lives to help someone be happy and be in love with someone else. It's the best feeling ever. Me and Patrick and I think, can testify on how society, on how friends, on how, let me even say, evil friends have tried to break us up. Have tried so many things. They have tried rumors. They have tried trying to bring weird conversations.
And they almost succeeded.
Yeah, they did.
Many
Others
points.
tried witchcraft. All those things are there. They will happen, and at the end of the day, it's about the two of you, how you understand each other, how you talk to each other, how you pray together. The most important thing is having the third party in your relationship being God.
Not anybody else.
But once that third party is God, there is a way, even if you don't go to church every weekend. I think the last time I saw Patrick in church was the beginning of this year.
But how will you see me? You are a Seventh-day Adventist. I am a Catholic. You pray on Saturday, I pray on Sunday. When will you ever see me in church?
When you're dressing up on Sunday, taking the kids to church. That's when I'll see you.
Yeah, okay.
So I know when you go. I know when you go to church, but
you'll never see me in church.
We've gone once or twice to the Catholic church, though it's a bit different from my kind of church. But
I've gone also.
You once, and you just went for music.
Yes, it is. I
Music week. Anyway, we just we think, or we suggest that the most important thing in your relationship should be God. You should kneel down once in a while, even if it's not every day.
People think I put on this rosary for sure. Actually, whenever I don't have a rosary, I feel very, very naked. I feel very, very naked. It's the only bling I have apart from a watch, because I believe God has led me this far in the decisions I've made. There are times when it has become very hard between the two of us, and people think, And one thing that kills me the most is somebody going on social media and saying, these people are like this. These people are criticizing you, not knowing what is going on behind the closed doors. Just because I don't expose my problems out there, it doesn't mean I am not human. It doesn't mean I am not going through all these things. I'll share the story of our newborn baby. The pregnancy, this period. This has been a period of testing, and this is now a testimony I want to share for the very first time. It has been one of the most difficult and most painful, but most refreshing tests I've ever experienced as a man. As a man with children, with a wife, with people looking upon me. It's been one of those testing times. We found out that my wife was pregnant. Actually, let me start from the day God blessed us and we quanjulated. We did our traditional wedding. It was a very beautiful affair. Everything from service providers to our parents to our friends to our relatives, everything was just beautiful. We had a very wonderful occasion on June 2nd. Like, life was beautiful, you understand? And then I sat down and I told God, thank you for this wonderful day. I think everything is going to be okay. I didn't know that this was the beginning of the test, because 2 weeks later, my wife used to complain of bloating. Every time she would take something, her stomach would bloat, So her sister, and God bless her, she's amazing, Carol was like, you know what? I don't think this is normal. You can't be bloating. Even if you take a sip of water, you're bloating. There's something wrong. Let's go. I take you to my doctor. They check you out. So when they reached they found she had a cyst, an ovarian cyst. And the doctor who checked it said, Madam, if you still love your life, you need to do an operation. You need to go for surgery as soon as possible. You were tested on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then
on Monday.
On Monday.
I went in for surgery.
She went in for surgery. Surgery is not cheap. You all know what happens when you do a wedding, a traditional wedding especially, the amount of money you spend. So we were actually negatives.
But the weird thing is what the doctor told me that day. He kept on saying, the size of this cyst, I don't even know how you handled dancing and jumping around on your function.
Enjoying yourself.
And enjoying yourself. You must have been in a lot of pain. And the funny thing is, towards the introduction, I wasn't in pain apart from the bloating and the discomfort, but I managed. And the doctor just couldn't believe that I had a 400-gram cyst in my tummy and I was moving. He even asked me how I reached hospital. I was like, I was driving. He was like, what? You came driving? He couldn't believe it. And in my head, life was still normal for me.
So she does the operation, you know, it cost us a lot of money, but somehow we managed.
Yeah,
and then God blessed me with a couple of shows between that time, international shows. I traveled, I made some command, and then we decided to start a show.
Start our new show.
We started our new show, Just Comedy Uganda, the page you are following. And starting a show is one of the most expensive things. Ask any show promoter, any show organizer.
Crazy. Especially the fact that it was a weekly show.
It was a weekly show, no sponsors, you know, service providers are very expensive, no permanent venue. But we had to do it because this is something we had planned in our year calendar that we had to do.
I think the first show was the hardest of them all.
Hardest, but it was one of the most successful.
And it was the best, yes.
Yeah, it was the best.
The most successful, but the hardest.
And it had its challenges. The challenges affected our fans so much that the second show, they didn't show up.
Yeah.
So instead of getting about 800, 900, 1,000 people, we got about 150. And yet the cost of production doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
Yeah. So we were in debt, and then God was also blessing me with shows. So I was actually doing shows, not for the family, but for the show. Yeah. So somehow life improved in...
But it was so weird how we believed so much in Just Comedy that we actually sat down together that time. I remember how we were like, you know what, we are going to have to tap into our savings account for this. And we both decided to do it.
Then in December?
No, it was actually in November.
Actually, late November.
Yeah.
We found out we were pregnant.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah, mood swings anyway.
You know, at the show, I usually do the procurement, logistics part and everything. So I deal with all the service providers. But apparently for the last show, I think I wasn't myself.
You were not yourself. You are rude.
I wasn't rude.
You were rude.
I was just upset. You know how you feel you are upset? Everyone that crosses your, I just felt upset. I felt like I wanted to strangle you at one point.
You got angry at everybody. Everybody. Yeah, including our very loyal customer.
No, he was a friend. It was very weird. He's a friend. So, no, not any customer. He's a friend. So he said bullying me and I just reflex. So we did the checkup and then we found out we were pregnant. This is late November. And that is when God said, Salvador, if you've never been a man, this is the time. Your limits.
You have to be a man. After just like 2 weeks after testing, you were admitted.
Yes, after like 2 weeks.
You started falling sick.
Yes, I started getting those severe, you know.
You say the words are what? Covidaram.
No, I got...
Dramacysis.
Oh, really? You failed to get that word. It's called hyperemesis gravidarum.
Hyperemesis gravidarum, a.k.a. morning sickness.
But severe morning sickness.
But the severe one, and this one, her morning sickness is terrible. The hypergremesis,
that one,
gravidarum, HG. Oh man, we were in and out of hospital, and yet this is the time. Remember, I kept on pushing my show.
From November to December.
From actually October to November, and this is when I was celebrating 10 years in comedy. So I decided to choose on February 14th,
which is your birthday,
which also happened to be my birthday. And however much things were looking good because we were getting sponsorship and everything, the hospital was also demanding.
But one thing I should say for most couples, you see, we went through that, but very few people found out what we were going through.
Very few people knew.
And we are deciding to talk about it now because so many people out there go through the same thing. But I think keeping it silent while you're going through it was the best decision we ever did. And talking about it afterwards helps us help other people, but also helps us recover from this ourselves. It was trauma. It was not just because there are times where I was really sick and my pressure.
All you should know, 4 months.
I looked at Patrick. You know, Patrick is one person who doesn't know how to hide his fear. Like every time he would smile like that, but you would see his eyes tearing, and he's like, "I've gotten a phone call. Kumbe he wants to go and cry."
That was not part of the script. You can't start unleashing my secrets
I'm sorry, babe.
in the public. You know, they say I was crying because of the statement, the rich also cry. Not because I was emotional.
But I think it was a trying time for both of us, but it was also a time to learn. We learned
4 months in hospital. 4 months. December, January, February, March. Actually, the lockdown was almost like a blessing because the lockdown was when you had just discharged.
I had just gotten back.
You were started to getting back. Oh my goodness. That challenge, it was ridiculous. It's a very long story, but the message I want to send out before we sign out is, no matter what you think people are going through, do not judge. You know, so many people, in that whole period, I was abused, I was attacked, I was done what. Nobody knew what I was managing back in my home. Everybody just say, he met Museveni, tuvume. He did this, tuvume. Yatulidemo lukwe, tuvume. On top of that pressure, I am handling my own family pressure, I am handling the show. People end up committing suicide. People end up getting depressed because they can't take it anymore. If I had a very, very soft skin, I think I would have given in because there's a point I reached and I said, God, why?
Yeah.
We've run out of time. We want to say thanks to everybody who's been part of this episode. Special thanks to our producer, Bosi Wagwan. Of course, our director of photography, Mr. Shadrach. Of course, our logistics personnel, Motoni, Angel, thank you so much. And of course, not forgetting to thank the proprietors of this beautiful hotel, Kajofa Hotel. Thank you so much. Kajofa Hotel is located in Charlie Wajala, Chimbeja, Lugombo Road, plot 15. You can come through for an amazing time.
Thank you very much for all your comments, your likes, your feedback, everything. You can keep on asking whatever question you want to ask, and you can keep on asking, leaving your comments on your feedback on each topic that we have had before. We want to appreciate your love, and
we'll try as much as possible to read out some of your comments when we get the opportunity. But for the love, we say thank you. We'll see you again next Thursday. Peace.
Adios.